Welcome back. Well, joining us now to continue this discussion is a political scientist, Adekoya Bola Dale. Thank you for joining us today again on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course. So let me just begin with one of the statements made by Ekiti State Governor, where he says, by now, the federal government should have been able to disclose the people who own these monies that have been seized. First of all, the one at the market in Lagos, and again, the one that was just recently discovered in Ikoyi. Do you agree with him, and why?
Yeah, I agree to like I said that an effective EFCC should have records, account of how much they've gotten. If those those sum of money have actually been legal, have been processed as a legal fee, and have been forfeited also to the federal government. If you remember vividly also, when Modu appeared before the Senate, the same question was thrown at him, and he doesn't have the record. So that doesn't even speak well of his person, and also the position that he holds as a chairman of the EFCC. It is unfortunate that this is what it is, a recurring decimal, especially not just to him. Anytime you ask public officers details, records of activities within their preview, they will tell you they will have to get back to the office. That means they're not functioning well in that position. And this is, for the EFCC on its own, is an agency that should thrive in transparency, because that is what they preach. And you can remember vividly, there was also some allegations against the past EFCC chairman of over #1 trillion having been siphoned also under him. So to us Nigerians, I think it's really important for us to know, if you feel, in all honesty, that this certain amount of money or monies now have been taken, you've taken possession of them, you should be able to give us records, accounts of how much you have. But unfortunately, what we just have present in Nigeria is the EFCC telling us this has been taken, this has been taken. That we wake up tomorrow and we see another discovered fund. But how much do you have presently? Nobody's giving us the answer. Okay, well,
that's another point. But then what has been in contention is the owner, especially the $43 million that was seized not too long ago. And also the money that was seized in one of the markets here in Lagos State. People believe that by now, the EFCC and the federal government, by extension, should have been able to say, this is the person, or these are the group of persons who actually, siphoned or illegally obtained the money. Do you think it is as easy as people think it is, or as easy as people say it is?
Well, I don't. On the issue of it being easy or not, I think it's just the Nigerian culture that we also feel that when there are no answers, we feel, oh, it's not easy. It is easy for them to have actually been able to locate where those funds are. For you to, before, at least I believe a reasonable agency, so to say, will have actually gotten ample information before hitting such location. At least first and foremost, they said a whistleblower disclosed it. So first and foremost, should have actually been able to get the location. The person that we've now presently we know who stays in the penthouse. We know who stays in apartment 2. We know who stays in apartment 7A. Now, how come all of a sudden the only apartment where the money is found, we don't know who stays there? So that's questionable, and that leads credence also to rumors flying around, or probably maybe the federal government is trying to cover some individuals up.
So you made mention of the whistleblower. I mean, that's one of the policies of the government to fight corruption. How effective would you say it has been since it was introduced into the system?
I would say while the whistleblowing policy is good, Nigerian government should also, I've said it a lot of times, should ensure that they should put into place legislations that will minimize how public officers have direct access to funds, because that is a major issue. If you are telling me you keep fighting corruption and the system still promotes corrupt activities, we are not going anywhere.
So what about one of the officials of the government who blew a whistle and then he was victimized? I mean, we had civil society groups, threatening to go to court, saying if that person is not even reinstated, he was actually sacked. That was the victimization he suffered. If that person is not reinstated, they were going to go to court. I mean, these lapses?
Well, it depends on how sincere the agency is. To me, when I received the news of the Ikoyi, for example, now, I was happy initially, but when the issue started coming up around it of being covered up or not, I started getting worried for the whistleblower, so to say, because if such individual put his life at risk to give this information out, and the information you've given out now happens to link back to someone in the presidency, and the EFCC answers to the presidency.
In other words, you're saying there's a bias in the process.
Of course, of course. It is obvious because as an individual now, before I think of going to the agency, going to any agency to give up information about an illicit fund, so to say, I would think twice. I would think twice because my safety force is, what if the agency I'm giving the information to, or someone in the agency happens to know the person I'm trying to blow the whistle on? So what happens to me? What happens to my life? And of course, so the first thing is probably I'll start going on the highway and I'll automatically get an accident, or you get. So a lot of on the security issue on its own self, I think is people, the confidence has to be there. It is really important. And the issue of the mandate for the Foreign Affairs Ministry now is something that puts all into the so-called whistleblowing policy, because with that, people get not to feel a kind of assurance that when they do this, when they undertake this activity or this act, they are protected. So if automatically for just something that not so large, now imagine the life of someone that has declared or that have given information on $43 million. So imagine the life of such individual. Well,
let's wait and see how that plays out, but hopefully we do hope that it plays out well and it serves the purpose for which it was introduced for, that's the fight against corruption. But then, political scientist Adekoya Baladale, it's a pleasure to have you again to share your thoughts and perspectives on the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's where we are. We'll take a quick break. I'll be back shortly with the most viewed videos watched on our YouTube channel in the past week. Stay with us.
The arrest of 3 suspected murderers of a delivery man in Rivers State is the 5th most viewed videos in the past week.
On my way to this houses, I saw him at that extreme. He was packaging something, like I think someone was packing in the waste bin, the black waste bin. So he said, "You go inside, go inside, go chill out inside." And he's coming to start the war.
Next is the claim made by Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike that the over $40 million recovered in an apartment in Ikoyi, Lagos, belongs to Rivers State.
When was this money kept there? The money belongs to Rivers State government. They should return the money to us. Else, we'll take all legal steps to challenge the federal government.
In third place is Governor Nasiru El-Rufai reacting to the leak of a memo he sent to President Muhammadu Buhari over the state of the nation.
But it was what I felt the president needed to look at to put Nigeria on the right track. Okay, so one reason is to make me look bad.
Please, honestly, we all feel it. Please. Honestly, we all feel it. No. Please. We all feel it.
I must see him today.
Please.
The second most viewed video is that of mothers of abducted Chibok schoolgirls demanding to meet President Buhari.
We all feel it. Please. We all feel it.
For how long do you want me to be here?
We all feel it.
We have been suffering for the same punishment, all of us.
No.
Please, President, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry.
You are feeling all right.
All of us will cry now.
Don't cry.
Please, don't cry. Please,
don't cry.
While the most viewed video in the past week is that of where Ali Modu Sharif stormed out of a reconciliation meeting of the PDP.
You can call me to a meeting of a PDP and you said I cannot address the meeting gathering as national chairman of the party. That's never happened anywhere.
Well, those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. However, reports now say that President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to return the recovered money, while an investigation has officially been launched to get to the bottom of this matter, of course, as regards where it is coming from and who actually owns the money. Nigerians will surely be waiting for the outcome of that investigation. And that's the program this week. Thank you for joining us, and do remember the conversation doesn't end here. It continues via the social media addresses showing on your screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Goodbye.